So I had a brother today. He's a 40 years equals 1,000 years full preterist. He told me that he does see, which, not that it matters to me, but I know the Holy Ghost by me showed him that, because for the longest time he was against it. But now he admits today that he does see it. But he says, but Christ had nothing to do with it. So he sees the 1,000 years of the Holy Ghost sworn by the Lord with David and all his sons till the time when Jesus was born. He sees that 1,000 years. But he says Christ has nothing to do with it. The 1,000 years Christ is talking about is when he lives and reigns with them. But see, what he don't understand is they were living and reigning with Christ from David to Jesus. They lived and reigned with Christ spiritually. It was the one faith, one mind, one way. The mind of Christ, the way of David. You know, they were commanded to walk in the way of David, which is the mind of Christ, the one mind, one accord, one faith, one Lord. And even with that said, through any rebellion of any of those kings in that line of Matthew 1:6 to 1:17, it did not make the Lord's faithfulness fail. That sworn oath to David, for the Lord's name's sake and for the Lord's sake and for David's sake, that was not altered or broken. And that 1,000 years, every generation through that 27 generations to the 28th generation, which was the last generation, which is Jesus' generation, which is the deadline fulfillment, the transitional period, where the Holy Ghost is no longer just by bloodline of David and his family, because now Jesus is there. But the Holy Ghost was poured out onto whosoever. See, that marriage door was to be shut, and the guests had to be invited in. And he invited the Gentiles, and whosoever would believe.